Good afternoon. My name is Joseph Call. I'm a former Marine, stationed in Japan for 2 years. Last year and a quarter, I was stationed in Yuma, Arizona. And I'm proud of my country, and I'm proud of what I stand for and what my brothers and sisters, the armed forces, stand for. But a big problem that I'm seeing going on right now is that our executive branch of the United States government, there's 3 branches, for those of you who didn't know, the legislative, the judicial, and the executive. Well, pretty much the executive branch is the President, the Vice President, and the Joint Chiefs of Staff. They are held by law under the Constitution of the United States to follow any and all regulations set forth by the Constitution of the United States, the Bill of Rights, and Congress. Well, we've seen through the past, this past month, March 5th, when President Obama, quote-unquote, I didn't vote for the man, had made a comment that Congress and the Joint Chiefs of Staff no longer take orders from Congress. What? I know. So, really, there should be an impeachment process heading very soon. But as soon as there was a bill passed by a representative from Minnesota, I think, I don't remember. I don't have my information right here with me, the bill. But there was a bill passed, sitting through committee on the impeachment process of Obama. And it's funny because he's committed high treason against the people with passing the bill, National Defense Authorization Act, TAC, Sierra, TAC 1867, Act 4, January 1st, 2012. And it's a very long bill. I personally think it's one of the longest bills that I've read through the Library of Congress. And, well, the parts that are confusing me is sections 1030 to 1035. It talks about the appropriation of civilians in the United States of America who were subjected to or supposed to terrorism or any act the president deems belligerent. Now, under the sections 1030 to 1035, it specifically talks about the immediate detention of U.S. civilians without evidence, without trial, indefinitely. They can torture you, and they can just make you go away without anybody knowing, and that's a big problem for me. That's a problem, because I'm going to tell you this right now. Somebody comes into my house without knocking. Well, let's just put it this way. It's going to be a very loud morning. Now, I'm running for state representative of the state of Iowa. There are problems with corruption. There's problems with bigotry all throughout the country. And there's nothing we can do about it. At least that's what they want you to think. They want you to think there's nothing you can do, that the economic collapse and crash, which is imminent within the next 4 months because of 1913 when they brought in the Federal Reserve, private bankers, to bank the United States government's money. So essentially, we are not free anymore, nor have we ever been free, because society is a scam, and it's just a hierarchy, or a hierarchical dictatorship. Excuse me, I had a dip in my mouth earlier. Still got the taste in my mouth. And we gotta do something. We gotta stop the corruption. We gotta stop them selling our rights for nickels and pennies, because they don't feel safe. But you know what? Why should the rights be dictated to us by an individual who was elected to power by us? It's not right. It's not right. So, you hear politicians always talking about how they want to change, they want to cut taxes, and they want to cut certain jobs to save the government money. Well, I'm going to tell you this right now. I am serious. I'm running as an unaffiliated party member in the 2012 November 6th elections for state representative for the 4th District of Iowa. And I'm going to tell you this right now. These politicians, they say they want change. They say they want this. They say they want that. I'm going to be the first to actually implement it. State representatives in the state of Iowa make $174,000. I will do the job for $45,000 a year. That is $1,500 more a year than I made as my as my highest rank achieved in the United States Marine Corps. And you know what? I could live comfortably off that for a year. So why I would need $174,000? I don't need nice things. Money is an illusion, or excuse me, money is power, power is an illusion, and money is an object. I don't need objects. You could give me 25 cents an hour, and you know what? I'm going to be as happy as a pig and shit, because you know what? I'm a human being. I have evolved over 85 million fucking years to get to the point where I am now, and our government and these corporations with their genetically mutated organisms, and they've essentially stopped the growth of evolution. They have stopped it. So they're putting our world in a downward spiral. It's got to be stopped. It's got to be changed. You know, you hear all these things about Coney 2012. Yeah, he was a trafficker of human beings. Human fucking beings. We have rights. We have freedoms. And we should not be in a cage. We should not be sold. We are not slaves. We can make our own choices. We are free agents. And it's not right. It's not right that our government gets to dictate who does what, when they do it, why they do it, how they do it, or if they get to do it and live at all. If you look at these big corporations, Walmart, Kmart, you know, we hear about how America is one of the only countries that actually has a minimum wage, and you know what, our minimum wage is crap, but you know what, there are people in China who work for IBM and Microsoft that get paid $300 a month, okay? We hear our politicians talk about trafficking and slavery. How about we stop the slavery in these other countries by stop buying from corporations that employ companies in other countries that pay them dirt price, okay? That is a solution, no longer a problem. Bam! Alright? Marijuana. I have done the research, alright? I'm a full-time college student going to DMAC at Boone and Ames campus, and you know what? I have done too many research papers, each one never told what I was supposed to write about, that I was supposed to grab an article, grab a topic, a thesis that made sense to me, something I wanted to do the research on. I'm going to tell you what, medical marijuana. Alright, in psychology, I did a paper on Alzheimer's, and there was a doctor from the Mayo Clinic who had done clinical tests and proved that medical marijuana, medicinal cannabis sativa, or THC, I can't pronounce the 26-letter word for THC because it's long and it's Latin. I'm American. I'm ignorant, I guess. THC, cannabis sativa, will slow the cause of cancer by 22, or slower the progression of the Alzheimer's disease by 22% than the 3 major medications, 2 that which have severe and deathly adverse side effects. Why? Alright? We've got a resource that can produce paper, motor oil. Yes, in the 1900s, there were 3 motor oil companies, go figure, who petitioned and lobbied for the United States government to have cannabis sativa outlawed and banned and made illegal because they were too big of a competition for the oil companies. Now, we hear about these, I consider myself to be a hippie, but I tell you what, I love my goddamn guns. Come into my house, see what happens. Now, we see all these products, we see the problems going on our planet, that we're not taking care of it. We're taking and taking and taking, but giving nothing back to Mother Earth. And I'm going to tell you this right now. If we legalize, 100% decriminalize, and start production ASAP on the farming and agriculture of cannabis sativa, we can produce paper. We no longer have to rely on India for our paper. We can make soap. We can make food. We can make medicines at reasonable, affordable prices that corporations can no longer sell because they have just been ousted by competition. Alright? We can... In the 1940s, in the state of Iowa, there was over 3/4 of the crop in Iowa were cannabis sativa due to the previous facts that I had just stated. Why is it illegal? Why is something so paramount, so important, such a natural resource that naturally occurs and grows from the ground illegal? Explain this to me. Explain why our congressmen don't give a shit. Explain why Congress and senators and the House of Representatives say that $174,000 is not enough for them to live off a year, I'm sorry, but that is bullshit. I'm calling their Trump, and you know what? I don't care if you vote for me. If you choose not to, you choose that he's a little crazy like Alex Jones, then do that. But you know what? It is not your right. It is not an option. It is your responsibility to vote. I don't care if you vote for me, but I've heard too many people bitch about our problems that we have on Capitol Hill and problems we have in individual states and in city governments. But you know what? When it comes down to it, every time I ask them who did they vote for, and you know what they tell me? That is right. Well, hey man, I didn't vote. Then you also have no right to complain. No right. So you know what? If you want this, then take it. If you don't, then leave it. But you need to do a part. Because if you don't, then you're not part of the problem. Or if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. And you know what? I'm done. I'm fed up with all these antics. I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to lay as flat as possible. I'm going to fight, when it comes down to it, for my Constitution. Because we the people, alright? That is us, that is you, that is me, that is them, that is representatives from Illinois National Law Enforcement, that is everybody. Everybody in America. I don't care if you're illegal or not. And the illegal immigrant issue, listen, I have no problem. Give me your tired, give me your hungry, give me your poor. But when my family came over here from Ireland and Scotland and England in the onset of the 19th century, we did it legally, so why can't you? We did it when money was not existent, when we were starving in Ireland through the potato famine in the 1920s. Why can't you do it legally? Why? Alright. Now, some more research to do. I have some other things I need to take care of, but expect these videos daily. Expect them daily. I'm not joking. I'm serious. A lot of people don't take me serious, but you know what? There is a time when people need to nut up or shut up, and that is now. God bless America. God bless you. I love all of you. You are my humans. You are my people. You are me, and I am you. I didn't crawl my way to the top of the food chain to get genetically mutated. I'm sorry. Alright. Semper Fidelis.